Alright, let me do this. Time to feed the viewers. They want me to put some content out on a Friday morning. Wake me up, 1 o'clock in the morning, that is. Hello viewers, me again. And it's another beautiful morning or day. Hope your five senses work, health and strength is good or excellent. Yep. I saw the weather. They were saying that the West Coast is supposed to get 10 days of straight rain. Yeah, so get ready for that. It's coming. Anyway, what do we got here? For you Steam Deck fans, what do we got? Oh, it says here Linux 6.19 brings temperature monitoring for the Steam Deck, APU, Apple Silicon, SMC. It says here the many hardware monitoring HWMon subsystem updates were merged today for Linux 6.19. This is predominantly around delivering new hardware support. It says there are several new HWMon drivers with Linux 6.19, including the Apple Silicon, SMC, TSC1641, 12C power monitor, MPS MP9945, MAX 17616, and MP2925, and MP2929. Of those, the Apple Silicon SMC is quite notable. It says here, this Mac SMC HWMon Apple Silicon driver allows for exposing the current power temperature and voltage monitoring sensor on modern Apple Mac systems. This Apple HWMon driver also exposes fan speed monitoring and control via the System Management Control SMC on Apple Silicon devices. The SMC firmware is not standardized among Apple Silicon's devices, so the level of support for the Linux driver varies, but it's a step in the right direction for finally being able to read temperature for Apple Silicon hardware under Linux, and the current /power metrics are also very useful for comparison benchmarking purposes. Says here there is also new hardware support added to a number of existing HWMon drivers. The Dell SMM driver now supports fan control on the Dell G5 5505 A-Speed G6 PWM Tech support the A-Speed AST 2700 and Intel Emerald Rapid support in the PECI driver. And then it says another addition worth noting, calling out on its own is the AMD K10 Temp or K10 Temp temperature monitoring driver, finally having the Valve Steam Deck APU ID added. Now you can enjoy the APU temperature monitoring with the mainline Linux kernel for the Steam Deck users. It says here ASUS motherboard also continues seeing more robust hardware monitoring under Linux. The ASUS EC sensor driver added support for the ROG Strix X470-1 gaming, ROG Strix X870-F gaming Wi-Fi, ROG Strix X870E-H gaming Wi-Fi 7, and Pro WS TRX50-Sage Wi-Fi. And it says NCT 6775 driver. Meanwhile, added support for the ASUS ROG Strix X870E-H gaming Wi-Fi 2. It says more detail on the HWMon update for Linux Linux 6.19 via the merge. So yeah, you Steam Deck fans getting little updates here and there, so now you can check the temperature on your systems. Yeah, little updates do the Steam Deck justice, you know. So yeah, what do we got here? So this article is from Phoronix. So you know, they're always coming out with new updates for I mean, they're always getting new updates for the Steam Deck, so use Steam Decks, you're good. But this also covered for like Apple Silicon, and this is also for like different Wi-Fi signals and tech, yeah. For PECI drivers, yeah. For Dell, this for part of the Linux kernel 6.19. We just did 6.18, so yeah. This for Asus ROG. This for the gaming Strix, the ROG Strix, the X870 gaming Wi-Fi. So little updates here and there, man. For you Steam Deck fans, but also for Asus. Updates from Valve, yeah. AMD. Yeah, every little updates count, man, when it comes to the Steam Deck. So temperature it is. I think there's 2 comments here, if I'm not mistaken. 2 comments. What do we got here? 2 comments. Espionage, he said this Steam Deck was out all this time without a upstream temperature driver. And then someone else says, yeah, you sound like you're surprised. It's quite common for a driver to miss an ID. Most of the time, I compiled a kernel or module. It was to patch such minor things. Well, whether the update arrive early or arrive late, it still benefits the Steam Deck users, LCD and OLED. So yeah, it will help for now until the next update. I think the next Linux kernel won't come out until about February of 2026. So yeah, I'm sure there's more Linux kernel 6.19 update that will come along the way before the main release. So yeah, I will keep you guys in the loop. On that. So yeah, but I mean when the Linux kernel 6.19 comes out, but now you can check the temperature with the Steam Deck, and I'm sure the testers and the modders got something to say about this too. See how it performs. So under extreme conditions, so how the Steam Deck stands up or performs under extreme conditions. But this is good for now. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Hope it was helpful, insightful. Hope you like it. If not, thumbs up, thumbs down, comment. See you next time. Bye for now.